So Holacracy is a system of self-management in organizations. One of the more well-known organizations that has adopted a Holacracy type system is Zappos. However, according to a Harvard Business Review article, when Zappos was implementing this system, they offered a severance package to those who didn't necessarily agree with the system, and just about 18% took that package. And according to Schumpeter in The Economist, he says 9/10 of the nearly 100 brand and management ideas studied by Birkinshaw of London Business School has actually lost popularity within a decade. So to me, this kind of brings into question whether or not Holacracy should be implemented or kind of cast to the side. So for this reason, I believe Derek should fight the Holacracy initiative. According to Bernstein, Bunch, Kanner, and Lee of Harvard Business Review, an organization that focuses too heavily on standardization can kind of make a business blind to changing markets, but then too much emphasis on adapting can cause them to fragment too heavily and lose focus and scale. So Rajay notes in the case that he says, I want my company to be just as entrepreneurial as myself, referring to allowing each business to manage their own organization. However, I think the dangers of this initiative is also noted in the Harvard Business Review article that says that while employees need that adaptability, they also need to have a stable working environment, access to critical resources, clear goals, responsibilities, etc. So I think if Holacracy isn't implemented and maintained properly, and if all employees, and especially those in leadership positions, aren't aboard, this could really compromise the success of the system. So another point to remember about Holacracy is that because it is not a hierarchical system, people tend to take on more responsibilities than they normally would. So the issue outlined in Harvard Business Review is that studies show employees perform less well on each additional goal that they take on. So it may be difficult for people to decide how to prioritize their tasks in this regard. So additionally, in the textbook, Robin and Judge point out that in a study of labor productivity, there's no evidence that really supported the claim that self-managed teams perform better than traditional teams with less decision-making authority. So traditionally in Holacracy systems, each circle may have a governance meeting. So if employees are assigned to a wide variety of tasks and responsibilities, the meeting times could really add up and end up actually costing productivity. In general, I think smaller companies and startups or really innovative companies may have a better chance of successfully implementing a system of Holacracy. But because of the type of industry that Contect exists in, I think it's more risk than it's worth. Additionally, I think it's important to understand that employees, to understand your employees, to know if a system of Holacracy would really work. So perhaps if you're employing older workers who really value having that title, Holacracy might not be the best approach. So to conclude, I think, again, noted by Bernstein, Brunch, and Karner and Lee, they make an important point regarding the decision to adopt Holacracy or any other management system. They basically say that blanket arguments for or against these broadly applying the principles of self-management miss a huge point. So most organizations, particularly large corporations, should adopt these techniques in parts, not necessarily in whole. So while I think fully adopting a Holacracy system in the way that Rajay intends could be detrimental to the organization, based on the previous struggles of the organization, it could benefit to adopt some of the strategies surrounding the Holacracy initiative.